So let me try and translate this into $100. So let's say your loss was $100. Could be $100,000, $1 million. I actually don't want to know.
Yeah.
Out of the $100 loss,
I don't want to know either.
before Friday comes around, because you had 5 days, out of the $100, how much did you recoup back? $30, $40?
No, I got it to $70 back, and I paid the $30.
Oh, you got out of jail.
Yeah. So.
You got out of jail.
Yeah.
They're the sort of things that you should not be doing, because I know people are doing it now.
And that's why I'm sharing it, because
people are doing it now because they think they're going to become multimillionaires. And let's face it, when we're trading, whether you're a professional trader or you're starting spanking brand new, sometimes there's a bit of luck. Now let's think about what you did on Friday with Ethereum. You had no idea that Trump was going to come out.
No.
You had no idea.
I would have gone harder.
Well,
I would
exactly.
have gone back to tech trading.
You had no idea.
No, all I did is I got back into it. It's actually through my son. So my younger boy, he's all of a sudden he's into crypto and trading, and he's been asking me about, how do I do it and whatnot. So
Are you encouraging?
He's only playing, he's playing with $500, right? So he's not at his age, $500. If he loses it, it's going to be a great education for him.
Right.
But he's doing okay at the minute. And so I thought, okay, well, if he wants to get into it, one day he might do it without talking to me, and I don't want that to happen. So I only want to smash him about it. So we started with a demo account, the CMC demo accounts. So we started with the demo account, and you start with 10 grand in there, and his 10 grand went pretty quickly to 9.5 grand, and he goes, so this was a good education piece for him. But what it did is it triggered it in me.
Yeah.
I thought, I did enjoy all the technical analysis and stuff. So I restarted my TradingView account and started looking at the charts again, and because he's been looking at crypto, I'm looking at crypto. And then there's a bot that I used to use that gave some really good indicators.
Do you want to explain what a bot is?
A bot is just a computerized algorithm that sits in the system that does all the measurements of the units of pricing of the shares and the high low of the day.
And you make a decision based on the chart.
Yeah. And so the bot optimizes that decision making rather than me spend time trying to work it out myself.
Right.
And so this bot across a number of cryptos said sell. It said sell about probably a week prior.
Right.
And the price had fallen and then pumped up a little bit. And so I was looking at it, so actually today's price is not far from when this bot said to sell. I said, stuff it. Let's have a go. So we did both Ethereum and Cardano. And then I just got lucky because I had no idea what was going to happen on Trump's tariffs. He was already talking about this stuff, but if you actually asked me beforehand, even if I knew Trump was going to do these tariffs of 25%, I would not have correlated to a fall to that degree on crypto.
25%.
Yeah, I would not.
But let's take the difference between a Mark Samari in 2025 and a Mark Samari in 2020 because, sorry, not 2020, 1999.
Yeah,
the
Prince.
You went hard then. I'm going to assume you didn't. You're not going hard now. You're just mucking about.
I won't say it's play money because that's disrespectful. But it's fractions of a dollar than what I used to do and whatnot. I'm just doing it for fun now, and at the same time trying to teach my son the disciplines of trading because he's shown an interest in it.
Right.
And so teach him. He's watching what I do and hopefully he starts to replicate it and he doesn't ever get himself in a situation that I got myself into. But it can easily happen. The temptation of winning big is a massive adrenaline rush.
But it's like going to the horses.
Casino.
Casino.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the difference?
It's not. But even if you go to the casino, there's people who just plonk money everywhere and they just lose it.
Yeah.
And then there's the statistical players. There's games like PayGo and we're going down a different path here, but there are statistical games where if you play the averages, you can actually have a better than even money chance of winning.
Really?
Yeah, but that's a slow game. If you notice the Chinese when they play table games.
No, I don't go to casinos, so I wouldn't have a clue.
If you ever do go, you don't generally see too many of them play poker, play the big wheel, this sort of stuff. A lot of them play PayGo. And if you go to Asian casinos, it's PayGo everywhere. It's not blackjack and roulette and these sort of things. It's different games. Because they play the statistical game and the law of averages game and so forth. Now, I'm not saying they're going to walk away with a win, but you have a better chance when you use a system, an educated stance on your decision making, as compared to just. So horse racing, there are form analysts that study form really hard and put in the science and the work behind it. They have, I'm not saying they're going to win all the time, but they have a better chance of winning because their knowledge set is here as compared to someone who just goes to the track. I like, that Black
Horse
Hawk.
number 3, yeah.
I like the jockey. Or, those silks look great.
Yeah.
And they just plonk, right? And then you got the derelicts at the TABs. They just whatever they earn in the week, they go there and they lose it all. That's bad gambling. Educated gambling.
But I don't think there's such a thing as good gambling either. I mean, I'm convinced that the last 10 years, maybe, as consumers, we have been given instruments. This is a fact. This is not an opinion. When you look at
What instruments did you get?
Options, warrants, contract for differences. Like you can put in $5,000.
Oh, the leverage is huge.
And I can get leverage of $1 million. We didn't have that 20 years ago. And that's why I think these things should be banned. No, they should be banned.
Erase that from the video.
No, don't erase that. It should be banned. If you've got $5,000 and you want to become a trader, if you lose the 5,000, bad luck.
Exactly.
You should only be exposed to $5,000, not have the opportunity to put $5,000 today and within 3 minutes I lose that $5,000 because I decided to take leverage of $500,000, because that's how quickly you can lose your initial $5,000.
But what's wrong with that?
Because it's gambling.
Okay.
Because
take
it's
the
gambling.
word gambling out of the
Well,
equation.
I'm not, because it's gambling. It's
but
actually
aren't we
gambling.
all responsible for our own? Do we want to live in a communist community
No, but
where
Mark, we're not.
you want to stop me doing this and you want to stop me doing that? Like, it's my life. I'll do what I want.
But we're not, Mark, and it's no difference to smoking. Why there's, I'm a smoker, as you know, and I shouldn't be, but there's big writing on the packets of smoking. You shouldn't smoke because of lung cancer and A, B, C, D.
Yep.
And they do say with warrants and options and contract for differences, you're at risk, and no one reads the fine print.
No, but they do make you do these little courses before you sign the account up to answer questions so that you understand the
Big
levels of
deal.
risk.
Anyone can get it.
I get it.
Big deal.
But for me, it's always the buyer beware. Like we're all adults. We make rational decisions, and so we shouldn't have to have a society have our checks and balances to make sure we don't blow ourselves up or restrict us on opportunity and whatnot. This is a free enterprise country we live in here.
Look, it is, Mark.
There's enough regulation already. We don't need to go and do those things.
Yeah, no,
You want to protect everybody.
No, I do, because I do know of situations of young families where they're not gamblers in terms of they're going to the casinos or they're down at the racetrack. But you know what? They got onto trading. They can get all this leverage and they lose their house. That's not a good thing, Mark.
I'm not saying it's a good thing, but they made that decision.
Yes.
So that's a life lesson.
Yes.
They won't hopefully lose another house.
You're saying we have to lose the house before we
Some people do. Some people need
become
to
sensible?
Yeah, some people need to lose to that degree before
Right.
they learn their lessons.
Right.
Other people learn lessons from other people. All I'm saying is
because
of the minority
Yeah.
ends up with that situation, why should the majority be punished for that?
Because I believe that traders should be doing a course so they could learn how to manage losses. I find that most people that I speak to, they do not understand how to take a loss and manage the loss.
Yep.
So, for instance, I put a trade in today, let's say, call it $1,000, right? And I'm down $300. In my mind, before I take that trade, I've already programmed the computer. If it's down $300, I'm out. I'm not going on this hope and pray that it's going to go down $500, down $1,000. Then I double up again or start using credit cards
Yep.
to fill up my account. So I think that's what I'm saying.
But that's, once again, you manage that yourself. So, like, the system is helping on that front, right? So if you're a horse gambler,
Yeah.
you can no longer take money out of credit card to bet on horses.
Is that right?
Yeah, the bookies don't allow you
Oh,
to
do they?
transact off credit card anymore.
Right.
So you have to have the money in your account,
Right.
and then you can transfer it in, right? So
Right.
there are little things to try and protect people out there from these things, but you can't just blanket stop all these stuff for the people who are disciplined, are good at it, make a living out of it. Why should they be cut at the knees?
See, I think these platforms that bring out the CFDs, they're aware of the statistics. Now I'm making this up. I reckon they've done the surveys and they've gone, you know what? I reckon 90% of people are just dumb. They're just stupid. They don't know how to manage losses. They're our target market. It's not people like you and I, because we know how to manage our losses. So that's where I'm not 100% over the line that I don't encourage anyone to trade. I mean, I've been doing it for years. And, I mean, I've suffered some losses, but I always know my threshold because like you, I had the opposite experience back in the late 90s. I got allocated some stock in a tech company. It went really well.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, even as a youngster, I got out when I made 5 times my money. I mean, 5x, that's big.
Absolutely. Five-bagger.
But it went up like 12 times. And I'm pulling out my hair. I'm going, oh, look how much money I left on the table. And I thought to myself, oh, Harry, how could you do that? The tech bubble crashed. And it went down 98%. And then I felt like God. Because that's the way that it works.
There's a saying in trading markets or investing markets, you never see anyone go broke taking a profit.
Correct.
And so if you leave some on the table, it's actually a good thing. Now, maybe 7 times you left on the table is too much. But, you got to look at the time. It's easy. In hindsight, it's very easy, right? But if you think you're going to get the absolute highest price in any investment on the market like that, it's too hard. No. Same as when you buy, you're not going to get the lowest price. That's why you have to have some error margin in that. So because everyone just thinks I bought today, it should just go up.
Yeah.
But who says that? No one says
right.
that. That's the market is the market. So you just made a decision to get in at this point, and hopefully you've made it for the right reasons. But you've got to let it nurture and percolate and then go up. And what happened to me on the weekend was just a fluke. That's not skill.
Imagine how many people lost on the Ethereum. If I use it, because a 25% drawdown, let's not kid ourselves. That's a big drawdown.
Yeah.
I've had a mate, someone that I know, I wasn't aware that he was a crypto nuthead. He lost 50,000 in one night. That's a big loss.
Hopefully he can afford
huge.
that.
I hope so, but they're the sort of things that sort of like make me think, why in the hell do you want to go trade crypto and with large amounts? If you want to trade, start off small.
It's all got to be relative to what you can afford.
Yes.
And doesn't change your life. So anything that puts anything in jeopardy, then you're going too hard and you shouldn't do it. I agree. But if you like it and you enjoy it and you learn with small amounts of money, as you're saying.
I think so.
Because the hard lessons are not as painful. But it's great fun. So I would encourage people to do it. Just do it with discipline.
Yeah, it is.